And the final match that I think is going to take place, the fourth one, obviously excluding the 2 Royal Rumble matches, it's going to be none other. Hello, everybody. My name is Mark Izzo, and you are listening to the Burning Hammer Podcast. On this episode of the podcast, I will be giving you my WWE Royal Rumble early match card predictions. But before we get into that, you're going to want to make sure to follow the Burning Hammer on all of our social media. You can follow us on X at The Burnt Hammer. That is the best way to get our immediate and initial reactions like CM Punk returning. So make sure to follow us on there if you want to get our immediate reactions to anything and everything that happens in the world of professional wrestling. And you can follow us at The Burning Hammer on everything else. That is the best way to stay up to date with when we release new videos or when we release new episodes of the Burning Hammer Podcast. You can listen to the podcast on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcast. And wherever you listen to them, make sure to leave us a review. Those really go a long way with helping us find a new audience. And you can also watch the Burning Hammer Podcast on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe to us there at the Burning Hammer. If you are watching on YouTube, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and click that bell in the bottom right corner so you get notified every time we release a new video on there. Survivor Series is done. And that means we are on the road to the Royal Rumble. We have about 2 months worth of builds to get to start feuds for the Royal Rumble. And basically, I'm giving you my early match card predictions, like I said at the top. And I'm going to give you 6 total matches because I went back and looked at the past 4 years, and it seems like they sort of flip-flop from 5 to 6 total matches. So I'm going to give you 6, which does include the 2 Royal Rumble matches for the men and the women. So I'm going to give you 4 matches outside of the 2 Royal Rumble matches. So without further ado, let's jump into the first match. All right, so the first match that I have is going to be a 6-man tag team match. I wasn't sure which variation of this feud we were going to get, but I think they're going to do a 6-man tag match, and that's going to be Santos Escobar, Angel Garza, and Humberto Carrillo taking on Rey Mysterio, Joaquin Wilde, and Cruz del Toro. Now, I was initially thinking of just doing Santos versus Rey, but I think for this Royal Rumble Premium Live event, it kind of feels like we may get the 6-man tag match, although it wouldn't surprise me if we do just go with Santos versus Rey and get the 6-man tag match in the prior weeks to that. But it definitely feels like we're going to get this feud again, which it absolutely deserves because Santos Escobar just defeated Dragon Lee on the Survivor Series match card. So I fully expect there to be this feud to be presented on the Royal Rumble card. All right, and another match I think they're going to have is they're going to have the men's tag team match. Now, I had a tough time coming up with who's going to face Judgment Day because I do think Judgment Day is going to hold the gold at the Royal Rumble, and the Creed brothers currently are next in line for a shot at the tag titles. So initially I thought potentially we could get them again, but I think we could get DIY taking on the Judgment Day for the tag titles. It's going to be a babyface team, and right now it sort of just feels like it's going to be the Creed brothers or DIY, and the Creed brothers are getting their time currently, so I think DIY is going to be a good option, and I think it's going to be DIY versus Judgment Day for the undisputed WWE tag titles. And Triple H, if you're listening or watching this, which you probably are, let's get a new design for these tag titles. You either got to split them up and just roll with 2 separate tag titles, or I think you should just have 1 set of tag titles, but you don't need to have Raw and SmackDown tag titles. Let's get a new design. There were some reports a couple weeks ago that WWE was testing new design tag titles just to see how they look on screen, obviously off air. So if we are getting some new tag titles, I don't know how much I trust WWE to design some good-looking ones, but they did design the World Heavyweight title, and that's a good-looking title. And they designed the North American title, which is the best-looking title in the company. So they have showed us recently that they can design a good-looking title. And I think with Vince McMahon pretty much out of the picture, I think there is a good shot that they will be a good-looking set of tag titles. But regardless, we just need a new set of tag titles. As much as I love seeing two guys hold 4 titles, just get one set. It makes more sense. So I was trying to figure out which mid-card title they're going to have on there. And as much as I think they may have the Intercontinental title in a rematch from The Miz versus Gunther, I think that feud's probably going to be done, even though The Miz did just call out Gunther on Monday Night Raw. I think we're going to get the U.S. title because we didn't get it at Survivor Series, and as of recording this, since Logan Paul won at Crown Jewel, we haven't really seen him, so I think he's going to throw the title on the line, and I think it's going to be, obviously, someone from SmackDown, and I think it's going to be Cameron Grimes. Now, I was debating between Cameron Grimes and AJ Styles, but I think that Logan Paul is going to retain the title at the Royal Rumble, and I don't think... At least I hope they're not going to have Logan Paul defeat AJ Styles. So I think that they're going to do Logan Paul versus Cameron Grimes for the U.S. title. Let's push Cameron Grimes a little bit. The guy is super talented. And I think this could be a fun feud because Cameron Grimes is a babyface. Obviously, Logan Paul is a heel. So they're not going to do a heel versus heel. So it's going to be a babyface. And right now... it's probably going to be Cameron Grimes. I think Kevin Owens is also another good option, but again, you're sort of in this situation where you want to have Logan Paul win, I guess, but you don't want to like bury another superstar. So like a loss to Logan Paul, if you're Kevin Owens, is going to really hurt you, but a loss to Logan Paul, if you're Cameron Grimes, isn't the end of the world because they're still trying to build him up. So I think Cameron Grimes is going to challenge Logan Paul for the United States Championship at the Royal Rumble. And the final match that I think is going to take place, the fourth one, obviously excluding the 2 Royal Rumble matches, it's going to be none other than CM Punk versus Seth freaking Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship. Now, I was debating between a few different options here. Both of the women's world titles, I think, have a chance to be defended on this show. I think Io Sky could take on Bayley if Damage Control turns on them, which I'm expecting they're going to before the Royal Rumble, but I think that Bayley's going to win the Royal Rumble, so I don't think they're going to do that match. And Rhea Ripley, I think she could defend her title. If she's going to do it, it's probably going to be against Becky Lynch. If not, it could be against someone like a Tegan Nox or Candice LeRae. Although I know Tegan Nox is in like a little tag team thing with Natalya currently. But it's either going to be Becky Lynch or like an up-and-comer. And I don't think they're going to do that 2 Premium Live events in a row. So I don't think that Rhea Ripley is going to defend her title. So that leaves me with Seth Rollins taking on CM Punk, the newly returning CM Punk. And some people think that this match could take place at WrestleMania. I think that's where the feud is going to come to an end. WrestleMania sort of always marks the end of something, and I think we're going to build to WrestleMania. You don't start a feud at WrestleMania. And the Royal Rumble is the first stop at the road to the WrestleMania. So I think we are going to get an instant classic of a feud, 3 matches, and I think that CM Punk is probably going to win the feud, and he's probably going to win the title at WrestleMania. Don't hold me to that, but I think we are definitely getting Seth freaking Rollins taking on CM Punk. Seth Rollins, after CM Punk debuted at Survivor Series, was visibly upset. It was kayfabe, a part of the story. Seth Rollins the following night took a couple shots at CM Punk at a house show for WWE. And then on Monday Night Raw, Seth Rollins also took the same shot at CM Punk, basically saying, I'm not going to talk about a guy who's been dragging down this company for the past 10 years while he's been gone. So this feud is going to be absolutely money, and CM Punk cut a really good promo. I had goosebumps the entire time. He cut a promo on Monday Night Raw, basically just saying that he was back. He had to go out and find himself, but he has returned home, similar to like what Cody Rhodes did. And for all of you guys that are hating on the CM Punk return, potentially calling him a hypocrite, it's not a lot of you, but I know he's been taking shots at WWE since he left the company 10 years ago. Well, guess what? While he was in AEW, that's just the AEW thing to do, is to take shots at WWE. Also, Cody Rhodes took shots at WWE while he was in AEW, and no one cared once he returned to the company. And he smashed Triple H's throne at the first AEW event, and no one really cared. So don't care. Enjoy the CM Punk run, because it's going to be awesome, and this feud with Seth Rollins is going to be awesome. But there you have it. There are my 4 matches. Just to recap, it's going to be Seth Rollins versus CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship, Logan Paul versus Cameron Grimes for the United States Championship, Judgment Day versus DIY for the tag titles, and then the 6-man tag match between Santos Escobar, Angel Garza, Humberto Carrillo, taking on Rey Mysterio, Joaquin Wilde, and Cruz del Toro. Let me know in the comments down below, which match do you think is going to take place at the Royal Rumble? You drop your match card predictions for me. And with that being said, that's going to wrap up this episode of the Burning Hammer podcast. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We are on the road to 300 subscribers. We've been getting a ton of new followers recently on all of our social media, so a big thank you for all of the support that we have been getting. With that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next video.